Down on my knees, I've learned to serve Him, but I can't even walk without you holding my hand. Welcome again to my channel, guys. We are a little late with the Bible study this morning, but nonetheless, we are going to get on with it. Thank you all so much for coming in. Thank you all so much for joining me. If you are new here, a very, very special welcome to you. And if you are a returning traveler, I want to say thank you for your continued support. You know your support means the world to me. Without you, there'd be no me here. Okay, thank you so much, guys. If you're just popping in, go ahead and comment in the chat so I can see who is there, so I know who I am talking to. But right now we are on to the book of Deuteronomy. For those of you who have been with me for a while, you know that we are trying to read the good book from beginning to end, trying to understand it from a layman's point of view. We are no theologians, but because this book and its importance is relevant to all our lives, it is imperative that we read it and try to understand it for ourselves so we know what is being said and whether or not what was being said continues to be relevant to our lives today. All right, and so far we have agreed that lots of things that were taught back then when this story was created is not, lots of things back from back then are not relevant to us right now. We do not endorse those kinds of barbaric behaviors in our modern day society, which is only fair. All right, so we are going to continue with the reading. I see my dear friend Michael in the chat. Welcome, Michael. How are you doing? Guys, if you are in the chat, you have not yet connected with my dear friend Michael from MTC Creative Kitchen. Go ahead and connect with Michael. You got to tell me how that jackfruit seed juice tastes. I have a piece of jackfruit, and believe me, I am going to pluck the seeds out and I'm going to cook them. I usually cook them and eat them just like that, or roast them in the oven. I've never made the juice, never even thought about it. Thanks for that marvelous idea. So I'm going to cook them and I am going to blend them, strain them, and do all the good stuff and add all the good stuff to it and see how it tastes. Michael says that it's supposed to be a front-end lifter. Oh, bless his heart, Lord, bless his heart. Kat, how are you doing? How are you doing, Kat? So good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to be doing the reading this morning. Is my camera too high up? Yeah, I look at my strain my head for look up. All right, we're going to read Deuteronomy chapters 9 and 10. For some reason, it seems like I don't have enough light. For some reason, guys, it seems like I'm not seeing well, even though I got the lights on. But anyway, we are going to start. We are going to start the reading of Deuteronomy chapter 9. And for those of you who are just coming in, we have already read all the way up to Deuteronomy chapter 8. In the last chapter, we saw where the children of Israel were getting ready to go across the river Jordan to go over into the promised land, and Moses had gone upon Mount Pisgah. The Lord is talking to him, told him, you know, you are not going to go over there, but you are going to instruct Joshua as to what to do, give him some guidance and help him so that when you pass on, he will be able to lead the people over there. And also we see where Moses had already distributed land over on this side of Jordan. He had already distributed land to the Reubenites and the Gadites and half of the Manassites. So he had distributed for two and a half tribes. Okay, and now the others were going to travel over across the river Jordan. Trev, the juice bad, may I tell you, it's a must try. You won't regret it. He says I won't regret it, guys. All right, we will see. I'm going to make it and I'm going to do a video to put on my channel. Maybe later on today into tomorrow. I will definitely make it. Excuse me. That taught me. I will definitely do it. Okay. All right. We are moving on to chapter 9 in the book of Deuteronomy. Hear, O Israel, thou art to pass over Jordan this day, to go in to possess nations greater and mightier than thyself, cities great and fenced up to heaven, a people great and tall, the children of the Anakites, of the Anakims, whom thou knowest, and of whom thou hast heard say, who can stand before the children of Anak? Understand therefore this day that the Lord thy God is he which goeth over before thee. As a consuming fire, he shall destroy them, and he shall bring them down before thy face. So shalt thou drive them out, and destroy them quickly, as the Lord hath said unto thee. Speak not thou in thine heart, after that the Lord thy God hath cast them out from before thee, saying, for my righteousness the Lord hath brought me in to possess this land. But for the wickedness of these nations, the Lord doth drive them out from before thee. Not for thy righteousness, or for the unrighteousness of thine heart, dost thou go to possess their land. But for the wickedness of these nations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee, and that he may perform the word which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Understand, therefore, that the Lord thy God giveth thee not this good land to possess it for thy righteousness, for thou art a stiff-necked people. Remember and forget not how thou provokest the Lord thy God to wrath in the wilderness, from the day that thou didst depart out of the land of Egypt, until he came unto this place. He have been rebellious against the Lord. Hey, Joseph, how are you doing? Good to see you, Joseph. Good to see you. I'm having a great day so far, my love. I hope you're having a fabulous day as well. And there is my darling Mika. How are you doing, Mika? So good to see you. We are moving on to verse 8. Also in Horeb, he provoketh the Lord to wrath, so that the Lord was angry with you to have destroyed you. When I was gone up into the mount to receive the tablets of stone, even the tables of the covenant which the Lord made with you, then I abode. Wonderful, my love. Then I abode in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. I neither did eat bread nor drink water. And the Lord delivered unto me 2 tablets of stone written with the finger of God, and on them was written according to all the words which the Lord spake with you in the mount out of the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days and 40 nights that the Lord gave me the 2 tables of stone, even the tables of the covenant. And the Lord said unto me, Arise, get thee down quickly from hence, for thy people which thou hast brought forth out of Egypt have corrupted themselves. They are quickly turned aside out of the way which I commanded them. They have made them a molten image. So there it was, the Lord was telling Moses he had to get down off the mountain quickly while they were in Horeb. to get down off the mountain and go deal with these people. Go deal with these ungrateful people. Go deal with these people who have corrupted themselves. They are losing faith. They are losing interest in me because you have been up here for 40 days and 40 nights. They don't know what's going on. There's nobody leading them at this point because you are up here with me. They're not getting any word about what's going on. So, hey, they built themselves a statue, which they started to worship. Let's see what happened when Moses went down. Furthermore, the Lord spake unto me, saying, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. Let me alone, that I may destroy them, and blot out their name from under heaven, and I will make of thee a nation mightier and greater than they. So I turned and came down from the mount, and the mount burnt with fire, and the 2 tables of the covenant were in my 2 hands. And I looked, and behold, he had sinned against the Lord your God, and had made you a molten calf. He had turned aside quickly out of the way which the Lord hath commanded you. And I took the 2 tablets, and cast them out of my 2 hands, and broke them before your eyes. And I fell down before the Lord, as at the first 40 days and 40 nights. I did neither eat bread nor drink water, because of all your sins which ye sinned in doing wickedly in the sight of the Lord, to provoke him to anger. Felicia, how are you doing, Felicia? Good to see you. Grant is in the place. Grant, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Verse 19. For I was afraid of the anger and hot displeasure, wherewith the Lord was wroth against you to destroy you. But the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also. And the Lord was very angry with Aaron to have destroyed him. And I prayed for Aaron also the same time. And I took your sin, the calf which he had made, and burnt it with fire, and stamped it, and ground it very small, even until it was small as dust. And I cast the dust thereof into the brook that descended out of the mount. And at Taberah, and at Massa, and at Kibroth Atava, ye provoked the Lord to wrath. Likewise, when the Lord sent you from Kadesh Barnea, saying, Go up and possess the land which I have given you, then he rebelled against the commandment of the Lord your God, and he believed him not, nor hearkened to his voice. He had been rebellious against the Lord from the day that I knew you. Thus I fell down before the Lord 40 days and 40 nights, as I fell down at the first, because the Lord had said he would destroy you. So here Moses is telling the people that it's because of you, it's because of your sins, why I have to endure all of this. I went up on the mount for 40 days and 40 nights to talk with the Lord, and you are such a rebellious people that you built yourself a graven image, that you rebelled against him, and you quarreled and you fussed. And while I was up there talking to the Lord on your behalf, interceding for you, not eating bread nor drinking water for 40 days and 40 nights, you were down here being ungrateful. That's what he's telling the people. Verse 26, I prayed therefore unto the Lord and said, O Lord God, destroy not thy people and thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed through thy greatness, which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with a mighty hand. Remember thy servants, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Look not unto the stubbornness of this people, nor to their wickedness, nor to their sin. lest the land hence let lest the land whence thou broughtest us out say, because the Lord was not able to bring them into the land which he promised them, and because he hated them, he hath brought them out to slay them in the wilderness. Yet they are thy people and thine inheritance, which thou broughtest out by thy mighty power and by thy stretched out arm. Mika, how things flowing on your side? All right, here ended the reading of Deuteronomy chapter 9. We will move on to Deuteronomy chapter 10. At that time the Lord said unto me, hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and come up unto me into the mount, and make thee an ark of wood. And I will write on the tables the words that were written on the first tables which thou breakest, and thou shalt put them in the ark. And I made an ark of shittim wood, and hewed 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and went up into the mount, having the 2 tables in mine hand. And he wrote on the tables, according to the first writing, the 10 commandments, which the Lord spake unto you in the mount, out of the midst of the fire, in the day of the assembly. And the Lord gave them unto me. And I turned myself and came down from the mount, and put the tables in the ark which I had made. And there they Zerah. There Aaron died, and there he was buried. And Eleazar his son ministered in the priest's office in his stead. From thence they journeyed unto Godgoda, and from Godgoda to Jotbath, a land of rivers and waters. At that time the Lord separated the tribe of Levi to bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord, to minister unto him, and to bless in his name unto this day. As the Lord thy God promised him. And I stayed in the mount according to the first time, 40 days and 40 nights. And the Lord hearkened unto me at that time also, and the Lord would not destroy thee. And the Lord said unto me, arise, take thy journey before the people, that they may go in and possess the land, which I swear unto their fathers to give unto them. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day for thy good? Behold, the heaven and the heaven of heavens is the Lord thy God's, the earth also with all that dwelleth therein. Only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them, and he chose their seed after them, even you above all people, as it is this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked. Guys, I want to stop right there and let's talk about that. You see, the word circumcise come up again. The word circumcise coming up again in the scripture means that you should remove the useless parts of your heart. Whatever is not serving you, not serving your community, not serving your fellow man, what do you need it for? If it's not serving you, you can very well do without it. So when the Bible says here, circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, it doesn't mean that you should go take your heart, go cut something off of it, literally. No, it means figuratively. Figuratively. Mike says still you're on the busy streets. Okay, my love, I know on the busy streets you have to be because, you know, there are lots of things on the busy streets that you need. And it's not going to come to you. You're going to have to go get it. But I see you, my brother. I see you are working hard. And I hope the people reward you for your efforts and, you know, continue to support your channel. I want to see your channel get to the promised land before Christmas. So that's what we're working on. All right. All right, guys. So we are going to continue. We are going to continue with verse 11, not 11, verse 17. For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons, nor taketh reward. So he's a mighty God and he's a terrible God. He's a good God. You are so welcome, my love. You are so welcome. He's a good God, but he's a jealous God. He's a God of might and he's a God of will and he's a God of purpose. He will love you and he will punish you. Okay. Let us continue with verse 18. He doth execute the judgment of the fatherless and widow, and loveth the stranger, in giving him food and raiment. Love ye therefore the stranger, for ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Thou shalt fear the Lord thy God, him shalt thou serve, and to him shalt thou cleave, and swear by his name. He is thy praise, and he is thy God, that hath done for thee these great and terrible things, which thine eyes have seen. 22, verse 22 and last of chapter 10. Thy fathers went down into Egypt with 70 persons. And now the Lord thy God hath made thee as the stars of heaven for multitudes. God, was it 70 people that originally went down into Egypt? It was, right? I thought it was. Where did I think it was? Like 77. It wasn't. I know we had done it before. And I have it written down in my book somewhere. But I figured, God, do you remember? I thought it was 77. But here it says that fathers went down into Egypt with 70 persons. That was 70 people. And now they are multiplied into thousands and thousands, like the stars in the sky. And here we have God says Romans 2 and verse 29. Let's see what Romans 2. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans 2 and verse what? And verse 29. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of God. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly. I got to see what they're talking about right there. I got to see what they're talking about. Because that one verse, Angie, how you doing? It's overcast. We might get rain earlier today. Early today or later today. Well, at least y'all need the water. I mean, it's kind of cool up here right now. You know, it's getting down to the end of October, and that's when the cold season usually starts. Oh my gosh, Michael, I gotta read Put You to Bed, huh? Yeah, it's nice and cool where I am at. The temperatures are starting to drop. You know, it's fall, we're coming on to winter. So the temperature is starting to drop. And pretty soon it's going to be the snow days. I'm going to have to go outside and start bringing in like my aloe vera and my mint, my thyme, my peppers. Yeah, because I want to have peppers all year round. But if I leave them out there, they are going to die. So I'm going to have to bring them in and put them in the bathtub. That's what I do. Okay, we are finished with the reading of chapter 10. So here, guys, we see where I know that a lot of people, when you start talking about the Bible, what the Bible says and stuff, people say, oh, the commandments aren't relevant anymore because didn't Moses throw them down and break them? Well, here is your perfect rebuttal in Deuteronomy chapter 10. Yes, Moses did throw down the original 2 tablets and broke them because he was so angry at the children of Israel for having made themselves a golden calf which they were worshiping, because Moses had been gone up in the mountain for 40 days and 40 nights. They didn't get any word from him. They had no leader at that point. They didn't know what was going on. So, hey, people need leadership. They're going to find leadership some way, somehow. People are determined that they must have something to serve, someone to serve. Yeah, so that explains why they built themselves this calf that they were worshiping. When Moses came down from the mount and saw what they were doing in his anger, he broke the tablets. But then the Lord called him to come back up on the mount so that he can get the tablets replaced. And that's what happened. He went back up in the mountains, got 2 more tablets, and he stayed up there for another 40 days and 40 nights while the Lord was writing on this tablet the same thing that was written on the first one. So for those of you who say, well, the tablets were broken, so that made them irrelevant, well, they were replaced, which replaced their relevance, because them having been broken had nothing to do with whether or not they were irrelevant. Okay, it was just out of Moses' anger why he threw them down and broke them. But God said we should read Romans chapter 2 and verse. But you know, guys, I gotta read way beyond so that I can get some context. So let's start up here at 21. Thou therefore which teachest another, teachest thou not thyself? Thou that teachest a man should not steal, dost thou steal? Thou that sayest a man should not commit adultery, dost thou commit adultery? Thou that abhorrest idols, dost thou commit sacrilege? Thou that makest thy boast of the law, through breaking the law, dishonoring thy God? For the name of God is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you, as it is written, for circumcision verily profiteth it thou keep the law. But if thou be a breaker of the law, thy circumcision is made uncircumcision. Therefore, if the uncircumcision keep the righteousness of the law, still not his uncircumcision be counted for circumcision? And shall not uncircumcision, which is thy nature, if it fulfill the law, judge thee, who by the letter and circumcision dost transgress the law? For he is not a Jew, which is one outwardly, neither is that circumcision, which is outward in the flesh. But he is a Jew, which is one inwardly, and circumcision is that of the heart, in the spirit, and not in the letter, whose praise is not of men, but of God. We are going to come back to that reading right there, because most of it, all of that circumcision, uncircumcision, circumcision, uncircumcision, took me for a loop. I'm going to be honest with you. But what in essence it is saying is, if you are going to say don't steal, you shouldn't steal yourself. If you, whatever it is that you are going to be preaching for others not to do, you should make sure that you are not doing it. But then again, consider yourself that you are human. Considering that you are human, the possibility of you committing these offenses are very, very real. Micah says, I'm heading home before the rain decides to fall. I don't want to get trapped like a rat on a rat trap. You don't want to get trapped in the rain. I agree. Hurry up and go home. I think when you get home, you're going to be cooking something. You're going to be cooking something that you're going to share with us. So go ahead and do that. All right. And don't get wet. All right, guys. We have just a few more minutes. So we are going to continue with the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11. Because I'm curious. I want to hear the rest of this. What the Lord is saying to Moses up here. So I'm going to continue the reading. Chapter 11 says, Therefore, thou shalt love the Lord thy God, and keep his charge, and his statutes, and his judgment, and his commandments always. And know ye this day, for I speak not with your children, which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm, and his miracles, and his acts, which he did in the midst of Egypt, unto Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and unto all his land. And what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto their horses, and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you, and how the Lord hath destroyed them unto this day. And what he did unto you in the wilderness, until he came unto this place, and what he did unto Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, the son of Reuben. Do you all remember that? I hope you all remember that when he's talking about what the Lord did to Dathan and Abiram. You all remember when they were rising up against Moses and they started to ask questions about why Moses is the one who is considered to be superior among them, that he must have conversation with the Lord and nobody else. I mean, can't there be other people the Lord talked to? And you remember when they brought that up? And what happened to them? The earth opened and swallowed them. So when he's talking about, do you remember what happened to Dathan and Abiram? That's what happened to them. The sons of Eliab, the son of Reuben. How the earth opened up, how the earth opened their mouth and swallowed them up, and their household, and their tents, and all the substance that was in their possession, in the midst of all Israel. But your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Lord which he did. Therefore shall ye keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that ye may be strong, and go in and possess the land, whether he go to possess it, and that he may prolong your days in the land, which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give unto them, unto their seed, a land that floweth with milk and honey. For the land which thou goest in to possess it is not as the land of Egypt, from whence ye came out, where thou sowest thy seed, and waterest it with thy foot, as a garden of herbs. But the land whither ye go to possess it is a land of hills and valleys, and drinketh water of the rain of heaven, a land which the Lord thy God careth for. The eyes of the Lord thy God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. And it shall come to pass, if he shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, that I will give you the rain of your land in his due season, the first rain and the latter rain, that thou mayest gather in thy corn and thy wine and thy oil. And I will send grass in thy fields for thy cattle, that thou mayest eat and be full. Take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and ye turn aside and serve other gods and worship them. And then the Lord's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven, that there be no rain, and that the land yield not her fruit, and lest he perish quickly from off the good land which the Lord giveth you. Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. And ye shall teach them to your children, speaking of them which thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. And thou shalt write them upon the doorpost of thine house, and upon thy gates, that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children, in the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you, to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours, from the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea shall your coast be. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that he shall tread upon. And he hath said unto you, Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. Hey Teresa, how are you doing, my love? Good to see you. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you this day, and a curse if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which ye have not known. And it shall come to pass, when the Lord thy God hath brought thee in unto the land whither thou goest to possess it, that thou shalt put the blessing upon Mount Gerizim, and the curse upon Mount Ebal. You are welcome, my love. You are welcome. Verse 30, we are on of chapter 11. And are they not on the other side, Jordan, by the way where the sun goeth down, in the land of the Canaanites, which dwell in the champaign over against Gilgal? Because beside the plains of Moreh, for ye shall pass over Jordan to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you, and ye shall possess it, and dwell therein. And he shall observe to do all the statutes and judgments which I set before you this day. So there it is in chapter 11. The Lord is telling Moses, he's telling him, do not forget, I am the one who brought your fathers down to Israel, down to Egypt. I am the one who brought them down to Egypt. 70 of them went down there. And I am the one who multiplied you so that you were as many as the stars above. And I am the same one who brought you out of Egypt, across the Red Sea. And I am the same one who tumbled the waters of the Red Sea over the Egyptians who were pursuing you. And I am the one who brought you through the wilderness. And I'm the one who fed you in the wilderness and protected you in the wilderness. And I'm the one who brought you out of the wilderness. And I am the one who gave you water when you had none. And I am the one who has guided you, have allowed you to be victorious over your enemies. I am the one. And so you must keep my statutes because you don't want to make me mad. And guys, I hate to have to apply modern day knowledge to all of this, but I do not believe in doing anything out of fear. This here to me, I said to me, sounds very scary. Like you are so afraid. You don't know whether you're doing right or doing wrong. I mean, you all don't have to feel the same way I feel, but I'm just saying to you all, this is how I feel. It's like being in a relationship with someone and they constantly remind you, even though they acknowledge your frailties, they understand that you cannot be a perfect being because you definitely are not and will not be ever a faithful being. You are going to have hiccups. Yes, you are going to falter. But yet this person holds a baton over your head and say, remember when me do for you, know? Remember say, I'm me, do XYZ for you. Remember say, when you never have no money for send a put them at school, and me give you. Remember say. And they just constantly remind you of all the things that they have done for you. So they remind you of how indebted you are to them. So you cannot slip, because if you slip, you slide. Don't forget that I can be very angry. I can be very vicious. I can be very destructive. So be sure to do what I say or else. I know there are always going to be consequences. And I can see God getting ready a response for me. But I know there are always going to be consequences for your action, for our actions, regardless. But I also find this, I'm trying to be as tactful as I can about what I'm saying in regards to what I've read in the Bible. So despite the fact that God is saying to Moses, I am a good God, I am a jealous God, he's also reminding him that I am a dangerous God because I can be very harsh when it comes to punishing those of you who have betrayed me, those of you who have determined that you are not going to follow the statutes. You see what I did. You see what I did to what were their names again? Why do I forget? Wait, I'm gonna remind you. I'm gonna remember Dathan. Always forget Dathan's name. Remember what I did to Dathan and Abiram? Don't forget that I can do it again. I can do it to you. I will do it. I will not be afraid to do it because that's how angry I can get. But don't forget too that I fed you in the wilderness. Don't forget all that I have done good for you. I took you out of Egypt. I did this, I did that. But I can also be very, very, very angry. And when I am angry, I will make sure you pay. A part here says, love the Lord with all your heart and lean not onto your own understanding. And that's where I'm at right now. Leaning not onto my own understanding. Right, Angie? How you doing, Angie? So good to see you. So good to see you, my love. You're not going shopping today? Angie, in your walking, you ain't find no shoes for me. I can't find no shoes to match my big foot, Angie. I'm trying to find myself a birthday shoes, but it don't look like there's any luck. Not look like I'm having any luck at all. But we are still moving on. We are still moving on. All right. So guys, that is going to be it where we are going to oh, you're back. You weren't here all along. Where you work at? Because here I was reading and hoping that you was going to say so. AG is in the place. AG, how are you doing, my love? So good to see you. Where are you traveling today? Where are you traveling today, AG? I can imagine you being on the road, traveling, traveling, traveling. Oh, she said, check Macy's. Oh, Jesus. Any Macy's is near me? Is there any Macy's near me? I don't even know. Let me check on my phone. Is there a Macy's in the mall? There might be a Macy's in the mall. I don't go to the mall, because I can't take the crowd and the confusion and the whole heap of people and the whole heap of nice. No, sir. We can't bother with it at all. We can't take it. So I'm not go anywhere. I said I was gonna go to Ross today. I was gonna take you all on a journey with me to Ross today and let me see. And let me see what is there. Yeah, and heading to Mississippi. All righty, all righty. Oh my God, one day I really do wish one day that I could drive around, that I could, I mean, travel around the country. I really do wish that one day I could, like, drive around, drive. But I wouldn't dare to take on that journey all by myself. No. But I would love to even one day to drive all the way to Alaska. I would love to drive all the way to Alaska and then explore Alaska and come back. Go up, can go up Alaska, go up on the West Coast on the Pan American Highway. Go up on that highway there that leads all the way to Alaska and then come back down and can come across Canada and then come down on the East Coast. That's a dream that I don't think will come true, but we will continue to work on it. Anyway, Jackie is in the place. How are you doing, Jackie? Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming, Jackie. How are you doing? What's going on back over there in Jamaica? There's so much going on, I tell you. There is so much going on in Jamaica. I did a video this morning I started that video since last week and I wasn't finished with it. Okay, they release it. I gotta wait for YouTube to release the monetization on my videos. And oftentimes they don't. All right, so there that is. All right. But you are, oh girl. Oh, Angie said, I know my roads. Yes, man, I know a little bit of something, I know a little bit of stuff. Yeah, I know my roads. Yeah, I would love to be able to take a trip like that, you know. That would be fun. But I would have to have like 6 months off of work, 6 months, maybe a year, and just drive, get a camper, drive so I can stop and sleep. And I would have to have somebody who have some kind of protection. Yeah, I wouldn't do that by myself. Jackie says she's scared. Jackie, may understand. Jamaica seems like a scary place nowadays. The men are taking the women's 3 points. Thank you, AG. Thank you, my love. Sun is shining. The sun is shining inside the house, but this kind of sun I gotta pay for. Jackie says some bad things taking place in Falmouth. Did they have a shootout down there a few days ago? I think I saw a shootout a few days ago. Guys, believe you me, every day you get up, the news get worse and worse. Why are the people just going, I don't know, just going around and taking each other's lives left and right, left and right, left and right, everywhere you turn. Yesterday, I woke up to the news somebody sent me an article where this guy took the life of his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend and almost took her life. Every single day, and it's happening everywhere, not just in Jamaica, but Jamaica's population is too small. It's too small to accommodate all these murders, all these killings. You believe that for the month of September, Jamaica registered almost 150 murders in 30 days. That's like 4 people per day. Oh, Jackie. Oh, it was behind the house that they killed those. Oh, my word. Sis, you better be safe. Stay safe, my love. Stay safe. Oh, my. I mean, once upon a time, when I was growing up and we hear about guns and gun killings and stuff, we always hear about in Kingston. In Kingston, and that is why us country children are always afraid to go to Kingston, because it's always seemed like Kingston was the battleground. But now it is everywhere in Ochi, St. Anne's Bay, Brownstone, Chapelton, Sablamar, White House, everywhere, no matter where you turn. No matter where you turn. Yes. It is sad. It is sad. I don't know what to say for the people. I don't know what is going to happen to us as a people if we continue like that. Our young men seem to have no God. Just yesterday, this morning again, somebody sent me an article with the young man down there in St. James who took the life of his girlfriend and then himself. Did you all see that one? The young man who took the life of his girlfriend and himself. That one, I think that one happened in St. James. So everywhere you turn, guys, it is just a lot of murders going on. It is very sad. Very, very, very sad. But this morning, this is our Bible reading. I'm not going to change our Bible reading with the ghastly stories, but we are going to continue the reading of the Holy Bible. Tomorrow morning, we will do chapters 13, 14, we will do chapters 13, 14, and 15. Yeah, so tomorrow, did I read chapter 12 just now? Yeah, I just read chapter 12, right? Tomorrow we'll do 13, 14, and 15. Oh, you heard about it, Angie? Yeah, oh my God. I saw somebody sent it to me earlier. Every day, it is something else. I see the security forces are doing a good job at picking off the criminal elements And I hope that they continue to do so. Continue to pick them off. Continue to dig them up where they are. Under the bed, under the mat, wherever they are. Dig them up. Find them. Eliminate them. The one thing that bothered me coming out of Jamaica recently, I saw where the government ordered the demolition of the people's houses. That's a very bothersome thing because the government is saying they are doing this in an effort God stopped me in my tracks. God said, Trev, don't you think that is a lot of 13 chapters for Susan and tomorrow? God, it might be, maybe it sounds like a lot, but I don't think it is. You know why? Or when I have 2 chapters, only now run out and answer the question them. if me have 2 chapters, I'm not doing just the same as if me have 20. So but I understand that it might very well be cat. It might very well be, but the questions are, most of these things in these chapters are repetitious, and there isn't a lot of like there isn't a lot of questions you can find that will help you to answer the questions. There's not a lot of answers like that. Most of it is like most of it is like information that is being repeated. Yeah, a lot of it is stuff that we read before as well in other chapters. With some. Here comes Winsome. Winsome, remember. She said, remember, say read Numbers 17 to 36. I never go through all of it. Winsome, honestly, guys, honestly, how Winsome come to me this morning. Honestly, how me there here, son, I'm a coach, I mind the business. And Winsome come to me and carry me up and drag me out, and drag me out of the couch when I'm in a corner. Wanna see it? Winsome, what make you do it? Why you do it, Winsome? Why you do it? Winsome, symbol of all the church. Winsome said, God, you hear Winsome? She love all the church. I'll be a Sabbath. I'll be a God, me Adventist. Listen, we go to church. Adventists go to church 9 o'clock, come home 12, and go back. What time? 2 or 3 until sunset. So really, God, I cannot tell when something tree. Oh my God, I'm gonna do me so. Oh my gosh. I just see God. You not say nothing, but you're glad when Winsome say it. So that you can boost up Winsome. Winsome tell her not boost you up. Tell her don't boost you up. All right. All right, guys. At the behest of Cad and Winsome, I am going to leave it right here. You really you left me to my desk. You left me to my desk. My desk put me in my place and fix up my business. All right. I like when you all have input. So you see, if me not do something controversial, y'all don't say anything. So you see, this is one way for me to get you all to come out of your shell. This is one way when we get for drag on out. So you can come out and talk to me, voice an opinion, say what it is that you all would prefer for me to do. Because what I'm doing here is not just for me, it's for us. It's for us because I want to know what the Bible says and I want to share it with you. And I'm sure y'all want to hear what it says as well. So, all right, Winsome, even though me a Sabbath keeper, even though I acknowledge the Sabbath, we are bite size is more. All right, Card. Card, you know, say me I go leave you for control some of these things because you have to bite size. You see the amount of the Bible we have left. We not done this till me turn 60, you know. When me turn 60, we still are reading and I try to understand the Bible at the rate we're going. But anyway, we are going to leave it right now at chapter 12. And then tomorrow we are going to come back. Tomorrow we are going to come back and go over Swords in Hand Bible Trivia. We are going to go over the chapters of Deuteronomy that we have gone over so far. Deuteronomy chapters 1 through 12. Right, Winsome? Deuteronomy chapters 1 and verse 12. We will go it over tomorrow at 4 o'clock when we do Swords in Hand / Bible Trivia. All right, guys? So that is going to be it. Tomorrow is Thursday. Wait, guys, I'm going to write this down here. Okay, so tomorrow we are going to... Okay, Kat says, so what? It's more content. Yeah, yes, it is. Okay, okay. All right, Kat. You got a point, a great point. A great point. I'm thinking, but Kat, what I'm thinking right now, I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to share it with you privately. Let's see. Let's see how that works. But anyway, that is what it is, guys. So thank you all so much for coming in. Thank you all so much for joining me. I am going to be coming back on live later on today. Later on today, I will be coming back on live. We are going to have a little discussion later on, sometime maybe around 5 o'clock my time. Yeah, about 5 o'clock my time, I'm coming back on live because it's Wednesday. I gotta do my live and finish because you know, later on in the night, like Unstoppable J, where other people coming on live that I'm going to be going over to support. So I will be on around 5 o'clock. Okay, guys. So thank you all so much for coming in, my brother AG, Sister Winsome, Card, Jackie, please stay safe over there. My dear sister Angie, stay safe, my friends. Mika was here as well. Who else was in the chat? So many people was in the chat. Mika, Grant, Joe was in the chat. My dear Michael, Teresa was in the chat as well. And several others. I want to say thank you all so much for coming, guys. If you have not yet hit the like button, go ahead and hit the like button on your way out if you didn't hit it on the way in. And if you are new here and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a video, you'll be first to get notified. If you're over there on TikTok, yeah, hit me up on TikTok, Trevessence over there on TikTok. All right, guys. Thanks again so much for coming in, guys. Until next time, this is Trev from Trevessence, where your journey matters. See you all later, my friends.